Non-basketball moves remain a point of education for the 2022-23 NBA season, and the first type of non-basketball move that we will review is an offensive player launching or leaning into a defender at an abnormal angle or trajectory. The highlighted offensive player here, Jason Tatum, shot fakes, and he then moves overtly and abruptly to his right, and in doing so, he initiates more than marginal contact with the defensive player, Duncan Robinson. Since this contact initiated by Tatum is clearly more than marginal, it is correctly ruled an offensive foul. This next example involving Kelly Olynyk and Mo Wagner will result in a correct no call. After his shot fake, Olynyk launches forward into Wagner at an abnormal angle, but since the contact between the two players was only marginal, and it did not rise to the level of a foul, this was correctly ruled a no call and a play-on situation. The final play in this section will show contact after a shot fake that results in a defensive foul. After the shot fake by the offensive player, Marcus Smart, the defensive player, Andre Drummond, moves forward and he moves into Smart, right as Smart starts his upward motion to shoot. We can see that Smart did not make any abnormal or overt movement into Drummond, and since the contact on this play is more than marginal, it is correctly ruled a defensive foul. The next type of non-basketball move that we will review is a dribbler abruptly veering off his path and moving sideways or backwards into a defender. The highlighted dribbler, Brandon Ingram, moves past his defender, Cam Johnson, but he then abruptly moves to his left, initiating illegal contact with Johnson. This contact by Ingram is more than marginal, as it clearly affects Johnson's ability to defend the play. This was correctly ruled an offensive foul by the slot official. The final example in this section will show a dribbler who does not veer off his path, and instead it is the defensive player who initiates illegal contact. The highlighted dribbler, Ja Morant, drives toward the basket, and his defender, Jordan Poole, is not able to establish legal position in Morant's path. There is no abrupt or overt movement by Morant, and again, it is Poole who initiates the illegal contact here. A defensive foul was needed on this play. The next type of non-basketball move to review is an offensive player abnormally extending part of his body into a defender. The highlighted offensive player here, Jaren Jackson Jr., takes a jump shot, and he then extends his right leg in an overt manner. By doing so, he initiates illegal contact with the defender, Jason Tatum, tripping him and sending him to the floor. As this is clearly more than marginal contact, this is correctly ruled an offensive foul on Jackson. Watch this next play closely. The highlighted offensive player, Fred VanVleet, extends both of his legs out in an overt and abnormal manner, and he initiates illegal contact with the defender, Paul Reed, tripping him and causing him to go to the floor. This was more than marginal contact, and an offensive foul on VanVleet was needed on this play. Now let's look at another play where a shooter extends part of his body outside his normal motion to shoot. Here, the offensive player, DeAndre Hunter, overtly extends his right leg out and up, and by extending his leg in this manner, he initiates contact with the defender, Duncan Robinson. And while this play was ruled in-game to be a defensive foul on Robinson, the proper call on this play would be a no call and a play-on situation. The final type of non-basketball move to review is contact between an offensive player and his defender, where the offensive player uses his off arm to initiate illegal contact. Here, the dribbler, Trae Young, uses his off arm to hook the arm of the defender, Terry Rozier. This illegal contact, seen clearly here on the replays, affects Rozier's ability to continue defending the play. An offensive foul on Young was correctly called on this play by the trail official. This next play is another example of an offensive player using his off arm to initiate contact and illegally hook his opponent. Here, the dribbler, Karl Anthony Towns, uses his off arm to hook the arm of the defender, Goga Bitadze. This illegal contact initiated by Towns clearly affects Bitadze's ability to defend the play. Towns was correctly called for an offensive foul here by the lead official.